Today, Bungie released a bunch of new visuals and information about the new destination we'll be exploring in Beyond Light, Europa. First, I'll let the trailer play out in its entirety, if you haven't seen it yet. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what it contains. Alright, here we go.
What have you seen out there? Look beyond the frozen wasteland. Europa is a place of many mysteries. Do not lose your way. We all come to this moon looking for answers. What do you hope to find here?
Europa has been home to darkness for some time now. Its history could be the key to our fight. Help me unlock it. The deepest secrets of Europa are now within our grasp.
Alright, great. Now before leaping in, know that there's new info up on Bungie.net as well, mainly a visually detailed map of the Frozen Frontier, aka our new playground on Europa. The map is broken up into 5 main areas, each accompanied with a brand new piece of promotional art. The Eventide ruins lay up on the north end of Europa. It was once home to thousands of settlers, according to Bungie, and now it's all that remains of Clovis Bray's colony. To the south of that, we have Cadmus Ridge. The text on Bungie's website reads, "A snowy landscape and the last known location of the buried Bray exoscience facility." Time for a fun lore sidetrack. After both speaking to my fiance Anno, who is very well versed in Destiny lore, and doing some digging on my own, I feel like any EXO player is going to be very interested in exploring the Cadmus Ridge on Europa. In the new Europa trailer released by Bungie, there is a very quick shot of both a Vex and an EXO joint hooked up to some kind of machine in what appears to be a robotics or scientific facility. Everybody's favorite, or should I say former favorite Vanguard member, Cayde 6 mentioned in his Treasure Island book that he was turned from a human into an EXO on Europa because of Clovis Bray. Cayde used to be a human soldier with a debt or bounty of some kind on his head, and was approached by Clovis Bray to have that debt removed. While details on the job offer Clovis Bray gave weren't mentioned, Cayde remembers coming to Europa as a human made of flesh, where he was then converted into an EXO. Cayde's letter fragments later reveal that Cayde had a wife and a son, and also that he threw away his life gambling. His only means of escape was literally selling himself into Clovis Bray's EXO program. Between the shot in the new trailer of the EXO and the information from Bungie that Cadmus Ridge is the confirmed last known location of the buried Bray exoscience facility, it's extremely possible that we're going to visit the birthplace of not only EXO Cayde, but nearly every original EXO. Very cool stuff for all you EXO bros out there. The only question I have right now on that topic, why is there a Vex also attached to the same machine as the EXO? Are we going to learn more about a hidden connection between not only Clovis Bray and the creation of the EXOs, but the Vex as well? Anyway, to the east of Europa is the Asterian Abyss, which apparently is where a lot of Vex are going to be hanging out. The Europa trailer had its fair share of Vex, including a brand new enemy type of some sort that I'm not really sure what to call. It looks kind of like a harpy, but far bigger. And not only that, it has a very powerful limb, an arm or a leg, that allows it to dive bomb and ground pound guardians. Remember, wouldn't be an enemy in Destiny if there wasn't some kind of ground pound. To the middle of Europa, we have a location called Charon's Crossing. Charon? The site of Europa's communication center and the origin of a distress signal sent by Variks. If you're a new light player or are very new to D2, I'm excited for you to meet Variks, who we haven't seen at all since D1. He was a good ally and a vendor back at the Reef, but we haven't seen him in-game at all since. Despite being an ally of the Guardians, Variks is a Fallen and was once the warden of the Prison of Elders. Unfortunately, Variks wound up fleeing the prison after Fikrul the Fanatic and Uldren both kinda got into his head a little bit. Variks fleeing the Prison of Elders resulted in both the entire prison going to hell and the release of many dangerous prisoners. One of them being Aramis, Kell of Darkness. More on her in a minute. From the tone of the trailer, it would seem that Variks is seemingly still on the side of the Guardians, despite his massive debacle involving the Prison of Elders. I really do hope that Variks is still on Team Guardian because he's honestly a great character and he's got a lot of unique personality. It's entirely possible though that he could somehow be mixed up with any of the Fallen houses, even maybe Aramis and the House of Darkness. If you don't know who Aramis is, she is a Fallen Kell and is going to be one of the main antagonists in D2 Beyond Light. Aramis leads the brand new House of Darkness, which she established after escaping from the Prison of Elders. It's assumed that every Fallen we've seen in every Beyond Light trailer, especially in the icy Europa environments, are members of the House of Darkness. These Fallen are dangerous AF, and although exact information is not yet known, Aramis has somehow been able to harness the power of stasis not only for herself, but for the House of Darkness. Translation: these Fallen are able to directly access the power of the darkness and stasis. In the brand new Europa trailer, for example, there are multiple moments where Fallen can be seen using stasis on the Guardians. In one clip, a Fallen seems to be shooting ice or stasis at enemies, very clearly different from normal weapon fire. Then again later, a Fallen enemy very clearly performs a stasis ground pound, similar to what we've seen from a Guardian. Again, we don't exactly know at this time how Aramis or the House of Darkness are able to directly access these powers, but I'm sure that as time goes on, more information will be revealed. Jumping all the way back to Variks, I'm inclined to believe that despite his past mess-ups, he's still on Team Guardian, as the info provided about Charon's Crossing location reveals that Variks is in fact the one who sent out the distress signal. The final new location on Europa is to the very far south, mysteriously called Beyond. Not the Beyond, just Beyond. The promo art provided by Bungie is simply a picture of the giant dark pyramid hovering over the icy plains, menacingly. Location info aside, the trailer has plenty of other things that we can speculate over. First and foremost, all of the new armor and weapons. I love slowing down the footage to try and soak in every detail I can of every new piece of gear that looks like it's new. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information right now on what exactly is legendary and what's exotic. The good news though is that if you ring the bell on my channel, i.e. turn notifications on, I promise I will share any and all new info about armor and weapons as it comes in. Finally, one last thing I wanted to touch on briefly is the Deepstone Crypt. On Bungie's website, they revealed not too long ago that the Deepstone Crypt will not only be a location in Europa, but the setting of the brand new raid. In the lore, the Deepstone Crypt comes from a dream that many Exos all experience on their own. Not really too shocking, considering we know that all Exos like Cade were created on Europa via Clovis Bray. Apparently, the Exos dream of a tall, dark tower. Some of them try to make it to the tower in peace, others have to kill many enemies in order to get there. In the game, the Titans have a mark that shows a vague drawing of what the Dark Tower apparently looks like. In the new Europa trailer, right away we see a shot of a large dark tower looking over the icy landscape. While this could be a Vex structure or a completely unrelated building, we do know for sure that the Deepstone Crypt is located on Europa. Could this giant tower be the beginning of the new raid, which leads us down into the crypt below? Only time will tell, but it sure is fun to speculate. If you have any theories on absolutely anything I've mentioned in today's video, I would love to hear from you. Please hit me up in the comment section down below and hit me with your wildest theories. Are we going to learn anything new about the creation of the Exos or the Vex? Any theories on Aramis or the House of Darkness? Do you think Variks is 100% on our team, or is he acting a little too shady? What weapons in the trailer do you think are exotic and what are legendary? Hit me with anything and everything. Be sure to both subscribe and ring the notification bell for more info as we get closer to the release of Beyond Light. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.